In the vast game of life, we are both players and dealers. To win, we must learn to shuffle the deck, ensuring that every hand dealt leads others to our desired outcome. This is the 31st law from Robert Greene's banned book, The 48 Laws of Power. In this video, we might talk about influence, manipulation, and seduction tactics. This video is for information and entertainment purposes only. Whatever you do, don't misuse it. Our channel is already blacklisted. Watch it on your own risk. Chapter 1. The Illusion of Choice. In life, we often believe we are free to make our own choices, steering our path with a sense of control. Yet, the truth is more complex. Choices are not always as free as they seem. Sometimes, we are given options that, no matter what we choose, benefit another. This is the essence of controlling the options. To control the options is to understand the psychology of decision-making. When we present choices to others, we can guide their decisions by shaping the context in which those choices are made. It is not manipulation in the sinister sense, but a subtle art of influence. By narrowing the field of possibilities, we make it easier for others to choose what we want them to choose. A small shop thrived selling 6 basic flavors of jam. Encouraged by his success, the owner added 6 more, expecting even greater profits. But instead of increasing, his sales began to drop. Customers, faced with too many choices, became overwhelmed and hesitant to buy. The abundance of options led to confusion, paralyzing their decision-making. This tactic is not new. It has roots in ancient philosophy. The Stoics, for example, understood that while we may not control external events, we can control our responses to them. By creating options for others that align with our goals, we control the outcomes. It's a way of turning external events to our advantage, crafting a situation where we win, no matter the choice made. When you control the options, you are not simply limiting the choices of others. You are guiding them towards a decision that serves your purpose. It is a form of power that is quiet but profound, a way of bending the world to your will without force. In this way, we become the architects of our destiny, not by overpowering others, but by offering them the illusion of choice. This is a subtle art, a philosophy of influence that requires patience, wisdom, and a deep understanding of human nature. And in mastering it, we find ourselves closer to true power, not by dominating others, but by gently leading them where we want them to go. Chapter 2. Freedom is a lie. People value their freedom, the ability to make choices. But what if this freedom was an illusion? When you present others with options and all roads lead to your goal, they feel empowered, even though their choices are limited. This is where the art lies, making others feel in control, when, in reality, you hold the reins. Psychology offers insight into this phenomenon. The concept of reactance, identified by Jack Brem in 1966, explains how people resist feeling controlled, often doing the opposite of what is suggested. But by offering choices, you avoid triggering this resistance. Instead of commanding, you guide. You craft options that align with your objectives, yet seem open-ended. Imagine you walk into a grocery store and you're craving something sweet. You see 2 options, a chocolate bar and a granola bar. You feel free to choose either one. The choice feels empowering, a moment of autonomy in your day. But what if the store only offers these 2 options because the owner wants to promote products with a higher profit margin? This strategy is not about forcing a decision, but about framing the possibilities. The Stoics would remind us of amor fati, the love of fate. We cannot control others, but we can guide their actions by setting the stage, offering paths that naturally align with our desired outcomes. By mastering this, we master the subtle art of influence without overt force. Chapter 3. Framing. In other words, it just means packaging. Controlling the options isn't just about what choices you present. It's about how you frame those choices. The way options are presented can significantly influence decisions, often more than the options themselves. This concept is rooted in the psychological principle known as framing effect, introduced by Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky in 1981. The framing effect shows that people react differently to choices depending on how they are presented. For example, consider two ways of framing a medical procedure. One option states, there's a 90% chance of survival, while the other says there's a 10% chance of death. Although these options are statistically identical, the first frame leads to a more positive response, while the second evokes fear. In controlling options, the Stoic perspective teaches us to remain mindful of how we present choices. A Stoic recognizes the power of perception. How a situation is framed can alter the response. By framing options in a way that aligns with our goals, we can guide others without force, using subtlety rather than blunt influence. To harness this power, we must understand the psychology of those we wish to influence. Present the choices in a way that resonates with their values, fears, or desires. This isn't about manipulation. It's about understanding the human mind and using that knowledge to direct outcomes with wisdom and foresight. Just a quick reminder, if you're enjoying this video, please consider like and subscribe, and thanks a lot if you did already. Moving on. Chapter 4. The Subtle Art of Decision-Making. The true mastery in controlling options lies in understanding the nature of decision-making itself. Humans are not always rational actors. Our decisions are often swayed by emotions, biases, and subconscious influences. By recognizing this, we can craft scenarios where the options presented lead to outcomes that align with our intentions. Consider the concept of choice architecture, a term popularized by Richard Thaler and Cass Sunstein in their 2008 book, Nudge. Choice architecture involves designing the way choices are presented to influence decisions. For example, placing healthier foods at eye level in a cafeteria encourages people to choose them over less healthy options. The decision is still theirs, but the architecture nudges them in a desired direction. This principle can be applied in many areas of life. By thoughtfully structuring options, you can guide others towards decisions that benefit you without them feeling coerced. The Stoics understood the importance of context and perception, teaching us that how we present choices can profoundly impact outcomes. By mastering the subtleties of decision-making, we embrace a deeper form of influence. We recognize that our power lies not just in the options we provide, but in how those options are framed and perceived. This awareness allows us to guide actions in a way that aligns with our goals, while maintaining the appearance of choice and autonomy for others. Chapter 5. The Harmony of Influence. In the grand scheme of influence, controlling options and framing decisions is an art that harmonizes with a deeper understanding of human nature. The core of this practice is to create a seamless flow, where the choices we offer are naturally aligned with our desired outcomes, without overtly imposing our will. Imagine a leader shaping the vision of a project. By presenting options that are all viable pathways to success, the leader ensures that every choice made by the team contributes to the project's goals. The team feels empowered, believing they are making independent decisions, while every option leads to the same destination. This approach respects their sense of autonomy while subtly guiding their actions. From a philosophical standpoint, this mirrors the Stoic concept of sympathia, the interconnectedness of all things. By recognizing that our actions and choices are interwoven with those of others, we create a harmonious influence. We acknowledge that our power is not just in commanding, but in aligning our desires with the natural flow of others' decisions. To use this understanding effectively, we must approach influence with empathy and wisdom. We craft choices that resonate with others' values and motivations, creating an environment where their decisions naturally align with our objectives. This harmony fosters a more genuine form of influence, where our goals are achieved through collaboration rather than coercion, and every choice made contributes to a shared vision. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. Simon Sinek.